Is this toxic masculinity?
All right.
Professor Sean.
Who do you call when you are at your lowest? Who is that one person?
Nobody. I'm a man. No one cares.
Not a single soul. Nobody.
No one. Because I'm all alone.
Speaking for the guys when I say this, literally no one.
Do y'all call someone?
Nobody. Just nobody. No one to talk to. So nobody. You guys.
No one. I'm a man. No one cares.
TK.
No one. Not.
The reason I ask whether or not this is toxic masculinity, there's an assumption that in order to be a man and to be manly, I must behave in a way that doesn't show weakness ever.
I wouldn't call it toxic masculinity when a bunch of men say, I don't share my problems with anyone because I'm a man. I would call that a lot of men sincerely expressing how they feel. And when we slap a label on that, like toxic masculinity, that creates some kind of war, some kind of battle to fight, some kind of resistance. And why the hell would you want to go to war without being curious about what's going on first? If anyone tells me I don't have anyone that I share my problems with because I am a man, then I want to have a conversation about that. Forget about the labels. What do you mean? Why do you feel that way? Because whether you're a man or a woman, you need some kind of accountability, some kind of affirmation, some kind of encouragement. And clearly there are a lot of people out there who feel like the world doesn't care about how I feel. The world will pick that up as a weakness. And I don't think that's a way to live. That doesn't mean you should be indiscriminate about just showering your emotions to anyone who will listen, because there is a great danger in being vulnerable with people that don't have your best interest in mind. There is great danger in giving up information about yourself, about struggles, about weaknesses with people that might have bad intentions, or people who aren't trustworthy, or people who hadn't proven themselves. But everybody needs a band of brothers. Everybody needs a family. Everybody needs somebody that they can walk through life with and share their heart with. So no, I wouldn't slap a label on it. I would try to understand it.
Ryan, I know that you're part of a men's group, and you have talked a lot about this with me individually, like on a personal level, and you talk to your men's group as well. The reason I talk about toxic masculinity here, I'm not putting that label on any of these men. I want to be clear. I think it's a societal problem when these men feel like they're not allowed to show emotion, to express. They're not even able to call anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all call someone? Not even realizing that that is an option. That is the toxic part. It's the societal constraint and expectation that then permeates the culture. And that culture says, hey, in order for you to be a man, you better just suck it up.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. The men's team that I'm on, the foundation is men supporting men. And it literally is what the entire division revolves around, because of exactly the video we saw where like men don't feel like they can ask for support. And I also would not label that video or those men or that trait as being toxic. To me, toxic masculinity is like, you know, if I were to write a list of traits, there are, you know, certain masculine traits that you could write down. And when those traits are used to dominate, control, manipulate, like I think that is where the toxic masculinity comes in.
And that's why I look at this as toxic masculinity, because these men aren't being toxically masculine, but they are being dominated or controlled by a societal expectation that says you can't reach out to anyone. So it's not me saying these men are doing anything wrong. It is society imposing a particular standard, and that standard in and of itself I view as toxic.
By the way, some of it is real, right? Like I think expressing your problems is a highly contextual thing where Just because you have a problem and you need to express it doesn't mean you express it at any time with anyone under any conditions whatsoever. And there are many spaces where it is a reality for men, particularly in competitive spaces with other men, where if you complain about something or if you express vulnerability, you will get eaten alive. That doesn't mean you respond to that reality by saying, I'm never going to open up my heart. But it does mean you have to exercise some discernment about who you open up your heart with. Because yes, there are men who will smell blood when they hear that kind of stuff, and they will use that against you. And I think some of this is coming from the fact that a lot of the people who feel this way, they are thinking of spaces where they spend a lot of their lives in, where they know they will be punished for being vulnerable. And that is a reality for men that men have to deal with.
Yeah.
Last word on this, Ryan?
Man, I love how you framed what you just framed, because when you hear toxic masculinity, it always implies that the man is responsible for the toxic masculinity that is being projected into the world. But the way you framed it, though, Millie, is it's not just the man's responsibility. It's also society's responsibility to not, to not express those traits in a way that is manipulating someone else. Did you enjoy this standalone Patreon highlight? If so, you can listen to full episodes of the Minimalists private podcast available exclusively on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/theminimalists or click the link in the description. Your support keeps our podcast and YouTube channel 100% advertisement free.